Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either September 13th or 14th, 2022, and I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Let's jump right into the content of this video first by taking a look back at my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was The Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, issue number 5. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my Just One Book Pick of the Week? And the answer is, yeah. Yeah, it was. It was a slow week, as I mentioned in the video, so it was a bit of a light pick. And I basically just picked it because the Sandman television show is really, really hot right now. People are really, really enjoying it. And I'm a big fan of James Tynion IV. But upon reading it, it was a really enjoyable issue to read. The story kind of really kicked in with issue number 5. I have a feeling that issue number 5 is basically establishing and teeing up what the actual series is going to be as an ongoing. I feel like issues 1 through 4 kind of just sort of set up the world and certain premises and certain ideas and characters and things like that. But with issue number 5, it's finding what it's going to be moving forward. And that is good to me. It's weird and entertaining and dark and mysterious. I'm really, really enjoying it. Now I'm a little bit, I'm a big James Tynion IV guy, so I tend to lean towards his things and I like them a lot, but I think there's a lot of there. So I still recommend this book. If you enjoyed the Sandman television show and you just aren't currently reading any Sandman comic books, I'd go back and pick up issues 1 through 5 and really jump on this series because I think it's a good one and worth checking out. All right, let's go ahead and move forward by taking a look at the books that are coming out this week. Now, often what I do is I talk about the books that I'm pulling, and then I go into my honorable mentions and then my pick. Well, I'm only pulling 2 books this week. One is going to be an honorable mention, one is going to be my pick of the week. It is a very light week. And so once again, this is a bit of a light pick, so bear with me. So the first honorable mention I'm going to talk about today is the one of 2 books that I am pulling this week. And that book is Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, issue number 5 of a 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Obi-Wan has closed his journals for now and looks ahead as night falls and the sandstorm that has sequestered him begins to clear. But he discovers something unexpected in the hazards of the Junlin wastes. A squad of ambushed stormtroopers left to die, but one still has a fighting chance. And Obi-Wan may very well risk everything to save a single injured Imperial stormtrooper that can't help but remind Kenobi of the clones he served with so long ago. All right, so this is the last issue of this 5-issue limited series, and I'm glad it is. One, I'm just glad to have one less book on my pull. I'm also glad because if this was an ongoing, I probably would have dropped it around issue number 2 or 3. Not because it's bad. It's not bad. It's good. It's fun, interesting stories from Obi-Wan Kenobi's past. But as somebody who's trying to limit the amount of books that they're pulling and not doing a great job with it, I would have dropped this title or much earlier if it wasn't a 5-issue limited series. But it is only a 5-issue limited series, and now it's done. I've enjoyed reading it. I wouldn't necessarily say, like, you gotta go run out and buy this. Like, the stories are so fantastic. If you're an Obi-Wan fan, this is a must-read. I wouldn't say any of that. If you're a gigantic Star Wars fan, you're probably all about it. But as a moderate Star Wars fan, I was just kind of meh. But issue number 5 is coming out this week. I am going to be reading it, and therefore it is an honorable mention. The next book I want to mention to you is a new book. It is called Ms. Marvel and Venom, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Deadly symbiosis. Venom is on the hunt, but who is hunting Venom? Ms. Marvel teams up with Dylan Brock, the new wicked web-slinger on the block, as a scheme to harness the symbiote rears its ugly head. The first Venom/Ms. Marvel partnership is also the concluding movement of the superhero symphony of the summer, as we reveal the connection between Wolverine, Moon Knight, and Venom, and Kamala Khan's team-up uncovers the larger plot behind it all. You will not believe who's pulling the strings. Okay, well, first off, that description was poorly written. It didn't have very good flow. I don't think it was just me. And that speaks to kind of generally my feeling about this title. Why did I mention Ms. Marvel and Venom issue number 1? Because it's new. That's basically the only reason I mentioned it. It's a light week, as I've said before, and this is a new book. And it's got Venom in it, which people really like Venom, and Ms. Marvel in it. And I would say that the Ms. Marvel television show that came out recently probably raised Ms. Marvel's stock a little bit. People who weren't really into her are maybe more into her now. I knew little to nothing about her before, and now I know more about her, so her stock is rised in my book. I'm not going to run out and buy this comic, though. I'm not interested in it at all. But, this might be a good comic book to share with a teenager who's looking to get into comic books. Maybe this is one I would throw them. But in general, I'm not too excited about it. It's just an honorable mention because it's new. Next up, we have another new book. It is Midnight Suns, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Rise of the Midnight Suns. A dark prophecy and apocalyptic new villains with horrifying powers the likes of which Earth has never faced before ordains a team of Midnight Suns to rise and tear up Magik, Wolverine, Blade, Spirit Rider, and Nico Minoru. But what does this new threat have to do with the Sorcerer Supreme's past? And why is Strange Academy student Zoe Lavau number 1 on the Suns' list? Okay, so this is another one that mostly I'm mentioning it because it's a brand new book, because it's a number 1. I want it to be on your radar so you know what's coming out. But the main reason I'm mentioning it is because it's just a cool team. Magik, Wolverine, Blade, Spirit Rider, Nico Minoru. I don't know Nico Minoru very well, but Magik, Wolverine, Blade, and Spirit Rider right there. I mean, that's like, all right, let's team those people up and see what they have to deal with and see how they deal with it. That can be pretty entertaining. So the Midnight Suns seems like a cool thing. I think people have been specking on possibly seeing some version of the Midnight Suns in the MCU at some point. I mean, if the MCU keeps going the way it's going, we're going to see a version of something, of everything, in the MCU at some point. So yes, probably see the Midnight Suns. I don't know if this will be a spec book to have, if that ever happens, but this might be a book to check out if you know little to nothing about the Midnight Suns and what it's all about. This might be a good way to get an introduction to the concept. It's only a 5-issue limited series, so it's a low commitment, so it might be worth checking out. And once again, the team in and of itself seems worth checking out to me. My last honorable mention today is another new book. It is The Least We Can Do, issue number 1 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Mysterious magical power arises from a world nearly destroyed by war. A young woman fights for her ideas of revolution and to build a new society from the debris. Realizing that she can't do it alone, she has to prove her worth to the Eclipse rebels to join them against the dreadful Eden army. A story of discovering what is right and what love means in a military-occupied and socially oppressed United Kingdom. Okay, so once again, like the other new books this week, I basically mentioned it because it's new. It's got magic. It's got like a post-war society trying to rebuild. It's got love in it, apparently. Maybe it could be a really, really good story. Now, I don't know this Iolanda Zanfardino who's writing it, or this Elisa Romboli who's the artist. I don't know these people, so there's no pedigree of sorts there. Nothing that I can latch on to be to. These people are great. Check it out. But maybe it's a cool story. So if you're looking for something new and original to check out this week, I probably wouldn't recommend Midnight Suns or Ms. Marvel vs. Venom, but I would recommend The Least We Can Do. I think it might be something that has some value, and it's a limited series, so... No, excuse me, it's not a limited series, it's an ongoing. So it's one of those books that you can pick up, you can read issue number 1. If you like it, you keep buying it, and if you don't like it, you stick it in the PC and hope that something comes of it someday. But it sounds like it could be interesting, so I made it known to all of you. All right, that takes us to the last book that we are going to be talking today, and that book is my Just One Book pick of the week. That book is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 11 from Image Comics. Here's the description. Series finale. Sins are paid for in blood. The road you walk determines where you go. Some poison takes time to work. All right, the description is very cryptic and tells you nothing, but that's okay with me. It establishes a mood and a tone. And let me tell you something. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance has been all mood and tone, and I love it for it. It has been a dark ride through this world of the dark web and murder and evil and escape and vengeance and justice and desperation. Rick Remender has done a really, really good job with this story. I have enjoyed it. It has been so engaging to me, issue after issue. I can't wait to see what happens next in every issue. It seems like the story has basically run its course, and it officially has. This is the last issue, but it doesn't feel to me like it got cut short. It feels to me like they had 11 issues worth of story to tell, and that's what they did. So I've really been enjoying it. Obviously, I'm not going to recommend to you to go run out and buy just issue number 11 if you haven't been reading the whole thing. But I'm sure there will be a collected edition that comes out at some point. I would recommend picking that up for all the reasons that I said. It's just a creepy story that got under my skin, but then I'm rooting for our heroes and I'm terrified by our villains. And the fact that I can read a story and I connect with it, like I invest in it emotionally and with the characters, and I'm really pulling for them, and I'm really disappointed or upset when something bad happens to them. That is just a mark of really good storytelling, and I feel like A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance has this through and through. Now, I'm not mad that it's over because I'm glad to have one less book on my pull list every month or whatever. But I am sad that I will be missing out on the experience of reading it once a month, as often as it's been coming out. So because I've enjoyed it so much, because I think they've done such a good job with it, and because in honor of its final issue, and because it's definitely better to me than Obi-Wan, which is the only other book that I'm buying this week, these are all the reasons that A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 11, is my Just One Book pick for this week. All right, that's it. As always, let me know if there's something that's coming out this week that I missed, that I should have been paying more attention to. Let me know if there's a book you're pulling or planning on picking up this week that I didn't talk about, that I should be talking about. Let me know about that down in the comments. As always, likes are appreciated by me, and if you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do so. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.